morning everyone, welcome to Not Just Art, where I'm looking at painting. So we're doing this one, which is continuation of the last video, but what I wanted to show you is something I like doing with the white paint. So what we've got here is I've been using white paint underpainting, so white acrylic paint. And then I've been coming in with, and also we've got sort of this area here and this, so coming back in with gold metallic paint. Now this paint, I've had it for years and years. Actually getting hold of this type of paint is quite, I'm sure they make it, but I haven't seen it recently. So it's metallic paint, this is gold. And what I'm doing is I am then painting it on the white, which gives you this gold area. I've done the same with the bronze area as well, so using this, which is again the bronze metallic paint. I don't think originally came from Wicks. I don't think now, it's probably quite hard to get hold of. I don't know where I would get hold of this now. But any white metallic, gold or bronze metallic paint should be able to work. So I'm just going to show you, I'm going to raise it up to the camera so you can see that they're working with white acrylic paint underneath and putting the gold on top. Now I haven't painted that up, but if you look around this area here, where I have actually used the bronze, come back in with gold, and then I've used the inks on top. So I've got the white paint to begin with, so it's a really nice technique this is, a white paint here, and then I've used obviously the bronze, and then I've gone back in with my Koh-i-Noor colours that I love using, which are like a really deep pigmented ink, and then I've come out. So what I'm going to do is here on the back of the leaf, so I just wanted to show you that technique because that is really, it's a nice technique which I uncovered. So let's go to work and see what we can produce. So again, working with water, working with paintbrush, got a round paintbrush here. I'm going to go with the bronze. So what I've actually done, I don't know if you can see it, I did this sort of the other day where I covered the white. So I've got leaves basically coming through at the back of this, and we'll see what happens. So using the back of this leaf, I've been drawing it because I quite like, it's probably almost like eucalyptus leaves, and they've got a really nice shape. So that is what I've gone with, and we will get started. So I'm going to use the bronze. I've already whited it out with the acrylic paint, but this is so that you can see it from this point now. I'll probably use it from the lid because it needs stirring and I haven't got my stirrer with me. So I'm going to go straight water and literally start. So I think I might be bringing out sort of a few more collections based on this style. So although this looks quite heavy, and it probably is quite heavy actually, but I'm going with the bronze because I like the deepness of what the colours, the actual inks do to it. Hence I haven't really tried it with the other using just gold, but maybe I might do a couple of leaves like that. So just putting in that, and so that will give that time to dry. I'm not worrying about it Some of it's thick, some of it isn't. So I've done it so that this is coming from behind. And you probably asked me, why didn't I paint this straight off? Because I didn't know what I was doing on this painting. And it's only as it's gone along that I've actually started to do a little bit more and thinking, oh, what techniques can we do here? So, if you can see, I've kind of, it started off as quite pale, and then I've enhanced it again, and I've gone over it with acrylic paints. I've also, on this one, used Interference Green by Liquitex. Okay, you can get other interference colours, but they kind of give it a bit of a shimmer and make the colour stand out a little bit more. I'll show that maybe in a moment. So again, we're just working with, I think, where the leaves are. Okay, so we're working here, and again, just painting this in, and it's quite a nice feeling painting on a Sunday morning, pouring with rain over here in England, but it's very relaxing, something nice to relax. So, done my meditations this morning, but just thought I would come on and do a touch painting just on the star. Now I'll just see how that goes and let that dry. Might not dry totally, and I'll come back and do the stem, because the stem's actually coming down. Okay, so I'm now going to concentrate on, and literally just took it from the back of the leaf. So the back of the leaf, literally, I like the fact that the stalk was coming in on top, so the actual branch. So again, this is, you know, I don't know how this is going to come out, but we take a chance, and that is what art is all about. Taking a chance and trying out a technique. So as I say, these designs, all these paintings I do, link to me getting on to doing textile design. So I use my paintings for textile design. I may take a part of it and then I repeat it, and this is where I like to play. So this gives me a chance for open kind of design, and these days design has gone really open now. Wasn't when I first started, when I used to design back in the 80s. Back in the 80s, yeah. So yeah. I've got a big leaf there, and I've got another one round here, and I made shoes to put in the gold. I'll maybe do another gold one here and then one. I'm seeing what it's like here before I take it out to the sides. So I think we'll do another one here. And remember, if I don't like it, what can you do? Just go back all over it with acrylic paint and take it back into the background. You know, there's one thing, I think people are quite scared sometimes to try out things, but you just got to try it. I mean, if you don't try out things, you'll never know, do you? So it's just, again, building people's confidence with painting, with drawing, I think you might have gathered I don't do a great amount of drawing. I get the kind of intention out first and then I get into paint or design. And there's so many different things I've done that you just try out different ideas, and this is one. So we're going to see, initially this is original old. I've used this particular board probably about 3 times before. Excuse me. So about 3 times before, and so I'm just now going to go to the gold. As I say, this is originally Wix Master Paint Effects. Probably good for walls and woodwork. That's what it is. This one's gold and this one's a copper. So I'm using copper, not brass or anything like that. So yeah, so it's be a good idea if I have a look if they still got things like this, but I think let me see if I can use from the top. No, I think I've already done that. Okay, so we'll use from the tin. So again, just taking careful where you've done it because my hand's over. So this is much lighter, you probably won't see that much, this, which it says. Do it a bit thicker. Okay, I think the oil in this needs mixing. So I'm just going to take my palette knife. I do have a palette knife here. And just mix up, because I think the oil's kind of, oh, I've used lots of that colour. Mix it up a little bit, okay, so the oil's not settling on the, there we go, then we can use that lot. So again, use that, and then I'm just going to go over that stem, so it's only light. But because it will give a different feel, that will be similar to where I didn't add paint, but I am going to add some paint on here with the Koh-i-Noor pigmented inks. So I do have a workshop coming up. It is based in Isha, if anybody is interested, and it's doing my decorative papers techniques into design. So I just thought I'd mention it. Isha is in Surrey and it's at a gallery called the Blue House Gallery, 28 High Street, Isha, not far from the cinema, actually just a few shops over. So I thought I'd mention that. Okay. Right, so that is kind of where I am leaving it, so you can see what is happening. Now ideally I should wait for it to dry, but I'm so impatient that I thought I should just give it a go and see what happens. So I'm just going to I promised myself this time this wouldn't be a long video, and I don't want it to be a long video. So I'm going to come in with some purple colours, which is probably going to knock this completely out of parts. So now you can see the colours are kind of mixing in with the actual paints. So, and I did originally think actually more blue. So I may come back in with some blue rather than purple. But let me see what happens by putting this colour. It does make it quite grainy, but that's also because the board, texture of the board is raised from what I've had before on it. And it's quite rich, very rich in fact. So this has changed. Initially in my mind I had that I was going to just do green leaves and blue on here, but you know what, I think I might add some blue into this purple. And again, I do work quite flat. Sometimes I work with a lot of depth in my paintings. Just depends what I'm doing. So as you can see, it's almost like looking at, you know, kind of partridge in a pear tree, that type of idea, which is, you know, based on the kind of like apples, but it's not. So I'm going to do another one in that over here, making sure I'm not. So what's really nice is you've got the bronze or the copper coming through into the design, and that's why I kind of like. I was playing around with that other painting and I'm like thinking, oh, I didn't know that did that. But I should have guessed because it's kind of resisting it. So that's quite, I think, tantalising. And I may put even more into and have another one come in here and here. So there's three. So you kind of, when you're balancing your designs, you're thinking in terms of your odd numbers, ones, threes, fives, sevens. Here I've got kind of like one happening in that area there, so I'm kind of balancing the design out. Probably should have had another one of those somewhere, but I've just got it in the main. So again, looking at your composition balance, this is, I'm concentrating more on the techniques. So let's see what happens with the blue if I enter in the turquoise blue onto this. Okay. Add in a bit more, might be a bit watery. So again, well, I give it quite a different look. If I don't like it, what can I do? Take it back, go back over it, and eventually I get what I want. In fact, what this colour is doing, it's taking away the gold. That may be a bit better. I'm trying to get it to work the colour a little bit more. So it's always interesting when you start a piece of work and what it actually comes out to, and that's the good thing about being an artist. You know something, it doesn't always have to be perfect. It's not like I'm doing a interpretation of a fine art piece of work. Interesting. Make that a bit darker. So technique, using white acrylic down first, then putting in a gold or a metallic paint at the bottom, and then go back in with some inks. that is what we're kind of aiming at. And yeah, see, that's still wet. I'm going to take that, I'm going to put it over there. You see, that's already giving me another idea for a painting. Just doing this blue. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So. Bring that down. Don't put any gold on these ones. Just going to go over the top. I'll go back over this in another colour, so I won't leave it just blue. I will probably bring in some brown and maybe some purple, and I'll do the same on the purple, bring in some blue, so that okay, so I've got another one to do, but I'm going to turn it round, and you can see I may come back to this for the third video. I have to think what I'm doing. Okay. Anyway, have a really good Sunday, everybody, and enjoy it. And thank you for looking at my artwork. Thank you for participating, and I'm very, very grateful to you, audience, and have a really good Sunday. That's it from me. Thank you.